Why did Mr. N. Chandrasekaran resign?
Breaking news now coming in. Tata Sons chairman has tendered resignation.
N. Chandrasekaran has officially announced that he will step down as the chairman of Tata Sons next year in February 2027.
If you don't follow Tata closely, you won't realize how big this is. When he took charge in Feb 2017, all the listed Tata companies together were worth about 8,22,000 crore rupees. And by this August, they were worth about 23,35,000 crore rupees. So 15 lakh crore rupees added in just 9 years. I'm not saying one man created all of that by himself. Nobody does. But it happened under his chairmanship. And this is the man who brought Air India back to Tata 69 years after the government took it away. And this is the same man who pushed Tata into semiconductors, electronics, batteries. And this man has just resigned. But why? Today we are going to answer a few important questions, and this will help you to understand Tata Group better. And also one more thing which no one is talking about, that why isn't Tata Group still not looking for a new chairman yet? The logic for that also we'll be discussing in this particular video. Honestly, nobody saw the resignation coming this soon. The day the news broke, listed Tata companies lost roughly 44,000 crore rupees in value. TCS fell over 4% and it was the biggest loser on the Nifty that day. Tata Motors fell, Tata Steel fell, Titan fell. But the real question is, why does one man's exit move the share prices of companies he doesn't even run? Because TCS has its own CEO, Tata Motors has its own, Tata Steel has its own CEO, Air India has its own management. Almost every Tata company has its own board running its own business. So one man in a company whose shares you can't even buy says he will leave in 6 months, and 44,000 crores disappears from companies he doesn't even run directly. To understand that, let's see what the chairman of Tata Sons actually does. So there are more than 30 Tata companies. At the center of the network sits one company, which is Tata Sons. It sells you nothing. It is a holding company and the promoter of Tata businesses. And its job is to own, to allocate capital, and to promote the Tata brand. So the CEO of Tata Motors asked how to make Tata Motors successful. That's his job. But at Tata Sons, the question is entirely different. They ask questions like, should Tata enter semiconductors? Should they buy an airline? Which industry gets thousands of crores to them and which industry gets nothing? He is not deciding what the next Nexon color looks like. He is deciding what Tata is and how it will be in future. Who is Mr. Chandrasekaran and what makes him so special? In 1987, he joined the TCS, which is Tata Consultancy Services, just as a trainee. In 2009, he became the CEO of TCS. And during his tenure, the revenue grew roughly 4 times. The share price rose more than 700%. And during the same time, Infosys just grew by 200%. That's the kind of value he has added to TCS. And note what this proves. TCS was not just a rescue job. It was already the group's strongest business. And what he had demonstrated was not a turnaround ability, it was execution at scale. Then in October 2016, Tata suddenly needed a new chairman after a very big crisis. If you don't know about the crisis, let me just give you a very small brief about it. So Mr. Ratan Tata ran the group from 1991 and then he stepped down in 2012. The chairmanship then went to Mr. Cyrus Mistry, who belongs to the same family, the Shapoorji Pallonji group, who is the second largest shareholder of Tata Sons after the Tata Trust. Over 4 years, the relationship between Mistry and the leadership around Tata Trust broke down. On the 24th of October 2016, the board removed him. Now put yourself in Tata's position. Your entire reputation is built on stability and you have just publicly lost it. Do you gamble on someone outsider? Or you pick a man who has spent 30 years inside Tata and was never on either side of the fight? One day after Mistry's removal, Mr. Chandrasekaran joined the Tata Sons board. He took the charge as chairman in Feb 2017. Why was the Tata which he inherited was in trouble? So during that time, TCS was thriving, Titan was strong, but look underneath. Tata passenger vehicle business had under 5% market share and was losing close to 4,000 crore rupees a year. This is not a business with a problem. This is a business fighting to justify its existence. Tata Steel was still carrying Europe. It bought Chorus in 2007. Then the crisis hit. The demand collapsed, leaving Tata with capacity nobody wanted. Telecom was bleeding and the group had no shape. There were over 100 operating companies. One sold tea, another sold salt, and both were competing with each other for the same household with separate sales team. Nobody could tell you what Tata was trying to be. His answer was just 3 words: simplify, synergize, and scale. So soon after he became the chairman of Tata Sons, he took a decision to exit the telecom. That was number 1. Number 2, he made Tata Steel shift the focus from overseas business to India, and it made Tata Steel to expand hard using organic and inorganic ways. He made Tata Motors rebuild its product line and bet early on electric. And by last year, it had its highest ever volume, with Nexon being the best selling car in India. One caveat here, he wasn't personally running those companies. They have their own board, their own people who did the work. What changed under him was the capital allocation and the appetite for very large bets. The first half of his tenure was repair. Around 2020, once the balance sheet could take it, he suddenly stopped playing defense. He acquired Air India at a whooping enterprise value of 18,000 crores. Air India was the same airline which was founded by J.R.D. Tata, and it came back to the family after nearly 7 decades. Let's talk about Tata Electronics. This is the company which was set up in 2020, and it took over Wistron's India's iPhone operation, making Tata one of the Apple's manufacturing partners in India. By last year, it was already among the largest company in the group by revenue, just in 6 years. Tata left nothing. In the last few years, it ventured into aviation, semiconductors, electronics, batteries, digital commerce, and whatnot. Tata wasn't this when he took it over. But why did these risky bets suddenly become a problem? There is only one answer to it: because they consume enormous amount of capital, and most of these companies do not make money yet. Air India lost about 22,200 crore rupees last year, and Mr. Chandrasekaran himself said that the turnaround could take around a decade. Tata Digital lost around 2,993 crore. The battery business which I was talking about, it lost around 380 crores, which is what you expect from a company building a gigafactory. And the semiconductor plant in Dholera, those are still under construction and they will not earn anything for years, which is not a criticism. This is simply how these businesses operates. If I'll add up one more thing, these newer businesses are losing close to 30,000 crore rupees a year. Now you might be wondering who actually funds this amount of money. The answer is Tata Sons. But the real question which you should be asking is how Tata Sons earns this much money. So I'll explain you with the help of a very simple example. So suppose TCS earns 100 crores of profit. That money does not get to Tata Sons directly. It belongs to TCS, a listed company with its own board and its own public shareholders. If the TCS board declares a dividend, it goes to every shareholder in proportion to their holding, including you if you own a TCS share. Tata Sons owns about 72% of TCS, so it gets about 72% of that particular dividend. Only then that particular money becomes Tata Sons money. Last year, Tata Sons received about 32,500 crores in dividend income. Roughly 28,300 crores came from TCS alone. You might be thinking, why are we talking about all of these numbers? It's because the dividend fell around 12% last year because TCS is in an industry which is now being reshaped by AI. So Tata Sons had to fund 30,000 crores a year for the new businesses which I was talking about, which is not generating anything as of now. And on top of that, its dividend income is reducing because Tata Group's flagship company is getting impacted. My next question is, we have been talking about Tata Sons a lot, right? But what is Tata Trust? And why does it care so much about Tata Sons revenue? So about 66% of Tata Sons is owned by the philanthropic trust. It is not like we can see in other companies. Like Reliance is owned by the Ambanis, Adani Group is owned by the Adanis. But here, 2/3 of the holding company Tata Sons is held by charities, which is funding healthcare, education and research. So when TCS pays a dividend, part of it ends up building a hospital, which means the trust are not distant investors. Every 10,000 crores committed to Air India has an opportunity cost. Then there is a second big shareholder, which is the Shapoorji Pallonji Group, and they hold about 18.4% in Tata Sons. We'll come back to this later. You must be aware that on 9th of October 2024, Mr. Ratan Tata died. 2 days later, the trustees appointed Noel Tata as the chairman of Tata Trust. He is Ratan Tata's half-brother and he has been there in the group for 4 decades. He built Trent, the retail business behind Westside and Zudio, and Trent is right now into one of Group's best performers. In November 2024, he joined the Tata Sons board as the trustees nominee. That's when the problem started arising. See, till 2012, Ratan Tata was chairman of both Tata Sons and Tata Trust. He headed Tata Sons from 1991 and he chaired the trust as well. So he could see how the money was made and how it was being used, and there was nobody to argue. He stepped down from Tata Sons in 2012 and Mr. Cyrus Mistry became the chairman. And from 2017, Mr. Chandrasekaran ran Tata Sons while Mr. Ratan Tata chaired the trust. There was an understanding and a similar thought process between both of them. So everything was running smoothly. But from that time, Mr. Noel Tata became chairman. Mr. Noel Tata was not particularly happy. Why? Till 2025, a dispute widened between the trust and the Tata Sons. It was regarding the role of the trust nominee director on Tata Sons board. Reuters has reported that Mr. Noel Tata sought information on business performance, the 5-year plan, how the capital expenditure is being made, and the rationale for Tata Sons remaining unlisted. And remember what we just established a while back, 30,000 crores losses per year and the slowdown of dividend funding by 12%. Whatever else was going on, those are the questions any responsible owner would ask. Plus, in 2022, the Reserve Bank of India put Tata Sons on a list of the largest and most systematically important non-banking financial companies. Why is Tata Sons on that list? It's because its whole business is holding the shares of other companies. To the regulator, that makes it a financing company. And if you are on that particular list, the rules ordinarily require you to list within 3 years. 17 companies were on the list which RBI had released. 16 are now publicly listed. One is not. Tata Sons applied to surrender its NBFC registration altogether, arguing that it shall not be treated as a finance company at all. That application is still pending and RBI has not given any heed to it. And a few days before the resignation, the RBI published the updated list. The Tata Sons was still on it. On top of that, Shapoorji Pallonji Group is supporting the listing of Tata Sons because of only one reason, that the group is completely in debt. And once Tata Sons get listed, they can sell their investment and they can use that fund to pay off their debt. It's not that Mr. Chandrasekaran is in favor of Tata Sons getting listed. It's just that it's not under his control. Not only him, Reuters has reported that at least 2 of the 6 trustees have publicly supported a listing, arguing that Tata's capital-hungry expansion needs money from somewhere. And Noel Tata has reportedly opposed the listing. And for the right reasons as well. Because if Tata Sons gets listed, it will have to make its accounts public, it will have to do segment reporting, every related party transactions has to be disclosed, managerial remunerations has to be disclosed, 160 years of private accounting will be opened up 4 times a year for anyone including the competitors. The second reason which nobody is talking about is, it is a big one. Right now, the articles of Tata Sons mandates that the key board decision needs the affirmative vote of Tata trustees nominee directors, which means any key decision cannot be made in Tata Sons unless there is an affirmative vote from the nominees trustee directors. But in a listed company, SEBI specifically names veto rights and affirmative voting rights as special rights, and these will have to be reapproved by the shareholders through a special resolution once in every 5 years. So the trustees' permanent veto rights stops being permanent. Every 5 years it goes back to a vote, and the special resolution needs 75% vote. And today the trustee holds just 66% vote. So they cannot pass the resolution in their favor. The third reason why Mr. Noel Tata is opposing this, it's because how the money moves. Tata Sons exists to put capital into other Tata companies. In a listed company, large transactions with listed parties needs shareholders' approval, and the related party is not allowed to vote on its own transaction, which means for those decisions, the public shareholders will decide whether to fund or not. Of course, there are carve-outs, but the principle still holds. So Mr. Chandrasekaran released a statement that the resolution for his reappointment was being tabled and it was not carried through because one board member did not support it, and in the absence of unanimous support, he chose to defer his reappointment. And from Reuters, 4 of the 6 directors supported the extension. Noel Tata opposed it and sought several conditions. One of them was commitment from Tata Sons chairman that it would never be listed. So what happens next? Why haven't Tata Group appointed a new chairman yet? So there is a process of appointing a chairperson. There is a selection committee of 5. Tata Trust nominees have 3 and the committee recommends the next chairman. The day after the announcement, Sir Dorabji Tata Trust, the single largest shareholder at nearly 29%, they basically proposed to begin the process of appointing a new chairperson. So the process has started, but there is a problem. Under the Articles of Association, the 2 main trusts must act jointly on who sits on that particular committee. And the Sir Ratan Tata Trust, holding about 24%, they cannot currently hold a board meeting at all. Why? Because in May 2026, the Maharashtra Charity Commissioner barred it from meeting because there is a pending inquiry into the board composition. So one of the 2 trusts that must jointly nominate the committee of 5 is legally frozen. Until that changes, the committee cannot be formed and the new chairperson cannot be appointed. Now let's look at what this story has shown us. The chairman cannot make the biggest decision alone because the articles requires trustees nominees to agree on it. Within the trust, the opinions of the directors are divided on listing of Tata Sons. We have also seen whether Tata Sons must go public is not decided by Tata. It sits with the RBI. And whether Tata even can begin appointing a new chairperson is not decided by Tata either. It is blocked by a state's charity regulator. 3 of the most consequential decisions facing this particular group sit with people who are not in that boardroom and cannot be outvoted by anyone in it. And honestly, I don't think anyone here is the villain. Mr. Noel Tata is protecting an institution he is responsible for. Mr. Chandrasekaran could not agree to something which no chairman could because it is not under his control. The Shapoorji Pallonji family wants access to the money that is genuinely theirs. And the RBI cannot write a special rule for just one company. Everyone is behaving responsibly in this particular case. That is exactly why it is deadlocked. Tell me what do you think about this story, and if this is the kind of research you want more from us, please support us by pressing the like button and just leave a comment. This is Rajat. See you next time. Bye.